No, it's a Sunday night game. It's a Sunday night. Yeah. Two, one, two, three.
You were missed, my friend. These nice people had to hear me play jazz guitar for 2 weeks, man. We were missing you. We were missing you. All right, you guys got it figured out. This is our welcoming song called Come On In. We're going to stand and sing it together. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. With a door that waits with open arms, he's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, come on in. We'll find a place of rest and illumination where God within you helps you to light the way. He knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. He longs to hold you and to wipe your tears away. Where the doors are locked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Where there's room enough in this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Tampa, come on in, yeah. All right, thanks, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Piper.
We are doing an end of summer bash. It's a water day today, so it should be fun. All right. Well, hopefully it's always fun. You're coming with us? Sounds good. Taking care of myself. In a physical education class or at a fitness center, I give my body a workout. Running or swimming, I increase my endurance. Stretching my muscles a little more every day, I become more flexible. Training with weights, I build muscles. I invest time in taking care of my body, and I am rewarded with lots of energy and a good feeling about myself. I take care of myself spiritually by taking time to be alone with God every day. I give all challenges to God for a divine solution, and my faith grows stronger with every challenge I overcome. With practice, I am learning to meditate, to be still, and to listen to God for longer periods of time without being distracted by anyone or anything. Turning within to God, I turn away from whatever or whomever is causing me to feel stress and strain. Then I simply linger in the atmosphere that my peace-filled soul provides for me. All is really well in my world. I love and approve of myself through ups and downs.
We're going to sing the kids off to Sunday school. I am walking in the light, in the light, in the light. I am walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Dwight Wells, and I'm a platform assistant this morning, and honored to do so. Let's see, I've been sort of told what to say and what not to say, because I know that minister's afraid of me doing a sermon, so it'll be a very interesting sermon, sure. But anyway, one thing we want everybody to be aware of and take advantage of is today after the service, there's a recycling, it's a sleeping mats for the homeless project that we've been involved in. And I think this is the last day that we'll be doing it? No? No, that's the okay. All right. So, but that is today. Okay. Yeah, the other thing is that we have been collecting food, and actually that's been going very, very well. But this will be the last day that we'll be collecting food to help people that need that kind of help and assistance in the community. So please participate in that in any way you can. Let me see if there's anything else that I'm supposed to say here. Is there anything else? Yeah. What? Everything on here. No, okay. See, I need to be, but I tried to get a performance on Tuesday night to warm this up, but anyway. Yeah, new visitors, please get your gift after the service. There's a table back there, and do we have any new visitors? Wouldn't mind raising your... Yeah? All right. Okay. Hopefully you'll come back. And as I said, if you didn't hear me, there's a gift for you at the back table back there for each one of you new visitors. And let's see. And birthdays, yes, birthdays. We have one person who's willing to admit to his birthday, and that's Mario. Where's Mario? Right? Oh, okay. All right. So, happy birthday, Mario. We wish you a very glorious and happy birthday. Anyone else? Yes? Your anniversary. Huh? And I would say that few of us who are born here can appreciate folks like this because they recognize.
Shall we sing to Mario?
All right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you.
You want to go dancing with me?
How about a hand for Dwight? Good morning. How's everybody today? Awesome. Good to see everybody. And good morning to all of our virtual audience. Look at our map. What's our map looking like? Getting nice and filled. I think we need to hit the Midwest a little better. We don't have anybody in South Dakota, Wyoming, Idaho. We'll have to work on that.
Let's take this show on the road, Nancy.
Yeah, let's take this show on the road. Yeah, well, in fact, if we sell the church again, we could be roadies.
We'll just buy a tour bus.
Yeah. Makes me think of that. Yeah, yeah. Bobby will drive us. So I want to thank Sam. Sam, where are you now? Oh, there you are. I thought you were still in the back for some reason. Sorry, but Sam's our board angel on duty. Thank you for being here. If you have any complaints or questions, see Sam today. I'm not taking any. Okay. Let's say our unity affirmation together. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And I also want to read the daily word if I can. So I wanted to mention a story also. So a couple of weeks ago, you remember I was talking about generations and the importance of reaching out to generations? Well, Kathy Arnold told me this great story that happened to her that day. She said that she heard from one of the grandkids and called one of the others and had these great experiences and was prompted that day to do that. And I really commended her for following her heart on that. And she wrote me and told me, and I didn't get a chance to share, so I wanted to mention that. All right, this is kind of almost timely with today. Daily word today is purpose. And it says, I pursue my purpose with passion. Over the course of my life, I have discovered what has kindled my passions, captivated my attention, and made me feel most alive. My passions lead me to discover my purpose, to which I choose to devote my time and my life. My highest spiritual purpose is to live from my divine nature. My divine gifts of life, love, and wisdom express uniquely through my passions, fulfilling me while demonstrating the truth of my being. I listen to the still small voice of spirit within to discern the best way to fulfill my purpose. I heed its call to learn, discover, and grow. It is never too early or too late to embark upon the journey of a lifetime. I am ready, willing, and more than able. And from John 18, for this I was born, and for this I came into the world to testify to the truth. It's pretty awesome. I also want to mention that Sheila is going home from the hospital today. So thank you for all your prayers. It was a hard road for her, but she did it. And we're all very happy for her and proud of her for practicing her unity principles, that she could work on her healing. I also want to say welcome back to Christian, because we missed you, and it was wonderful to hear you playing this morning, so thank you. And Michael and Elliot and Alvon and Duncan and David and Jeffrey B., thank you for what you're doing. And Bronwyn, thank you for keeping us well. So with that said, I'm going to turn it back to Elliot and the band.
Cool. We got one more week of singing this song home. Will you guys stand and sing it with us? As we roll down this unfamiliar road, although this weight is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down and all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. Trouble, it might track you down. You get lost, you can always be found. Just know sing that one more time right here. You guys sound good. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. Trouble, it might drag you down. You get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Alright, we got those oohs. Here we go. Very nice. I'm gonna make this place your home. Welcome home.
Speaking of people who make this place their home, I just want to call out attention to Luis back there, our gentle angel giant here. So there are so many things this guy does for us that actually go unnoticed sometimes. So aside from the fact that he's here every Sunday, as is Jeffrey B., getting things ready with Vivian, and even in Vivian's absence, these guys show up. But a few weeks ago, Luis put these banners up on our wall. I don't know how many people noticed, but he changed them and did a beautiful job, never said anything to anybody, just did it. And this week, he brought us a new counter-type table for out there to put all of the name tags and everything on. So I just want to say thank you. And I was calling him in. I really appreciate you. Today, I grabbed him and said, I want to move this one thing on a wall over there, and I want to move something else off the wall. I need a nail. Can you help me today? And, you know, he's just a willing participant. So, thank you. All right, I want to tell you about this story. I want you to listen to this story with two thoughts in mind. I'm going to share two stories today. But this one's from Michael Hilson's mom, and she mailed it to him for me. But here's what it's about. I want you to listen to how this guy's journey changed and how he thought he should follow his heart in one direction, went another, and came back and did something totally different. So his name is Quayne Stewart, and once a week, he is a vet, and once a week he heads down to San Diego's East Village to make his rounds. He serves the dogs, cats, rats, and birds who are the treasured pets of the community's homeless. For 10 years, this Carmel Mountain Ranch resident has been offering free veterinary care to the homeless from San Diego to San Francisco. Now, he is the son of an NFL player who became a teacher after football, a mom who was a banker who became a teacher. He grew up in Albuquerque dreaming of becoming a veterinarian, working in a posh seaside clinic in San Diego. But after graduating from veterinary school, he spent a decade, in his own words, as a spoiled young vet, working with clients that had bottomless bank accounts who could afford to do anything I suggested and recommended. His life and values changed 11 years later when he took a job as head veterinarian in a county-run shelter in an area devastated by the Great Recession. The work was exhausting and demoralizing, and 4 years in, he was burned out by guilt, compassion, and fatigue. So on his way to work one morning, he stopped at a 7-Eleven for coffee, saw a homeless man with a dog that had a flea-related skin allergy so severe that the dog looked like a burn victim. He gave the dog a $3 vial of flea medicine, and within a week its hair was growing back and it was wagging his tail. The owner was beyond grateful and said, "Thank you for not ignoring me and for healing my dog." That was the moment I got back to saving animals, but doing it this time on my own terms. A few weeks later, he set up a pop-up vet clinic at a soup kitchen. When clients there suggested he take his services to one of their friends living under a bridge, his new vocation became the roving street vet. He brought his mission to LA in 2013 when he was hired as the chief veterinarian officer for American Humane, the nonprofit that works with movie and television studios to ensure no animals are harmed on set. Over the past decade, he estimates he has now treated 1,000 homeless animals. Of his work, he said, "I feel rewarded that they feel like I've helped restore their hope in humanity. There's a huge exchange of emotions, and I get a lot out of it. I can dream a little bit that people all over the world will want to emulate what I do. It's bigger than me just treating a pet on the street. There's the kindness aspect. These are ideals we want in our society." I love this story for two reasons. One, I think it's great that he recognized he was working in something that he didn't feel he was actually serving, but then he put him through this test of time to do this work that really depressed him, and then he finally found his way back to something in the middle, which just reminds us that we don't have to make these horrible sacrifices to prove that we have a passion and to be worthy of sharing our passion. We can live somewhere in the middle. All right, I also want to share this story from my wonderful husband, who always finds good stuff too. And this is interesting. So it started in 2018 that this young man named Jimmy Amizio, who was 22 at the time in 2018, was visiting his mom in Haiti and walking to a New Year's Eve party when he sees this crowd standing around. He walks up to the crowd and he wants to figure out what's going on. And when he sees the crowd, he realizes they're standing around a trash can. So he tries to figure out what are they looking at, and someone had thrown a 4-month-old baby into a trash can, no clothes. The baby had red ants all over it, was screaming, and nobody would touch the baby because they felt that the baby was either cursed or evil, and that's why someone threw it away. So he decides to pick up the baby and take the baby home to where he's staying at his mom's. He was on college break, by the way. And so he goes home. His mom's completely freaked out that her son went to a New Year's Eve party and came home with a four-month-old child. So you can imagine what she was wondering happened. Anyway, he calls the police, who ask him if he could just keep the baby overnight while they investigate. Next day, a judge shows up at his mom's house and asks him if he would take care of this child for a little while. Would he be willing to take temporary custody? Imagine a 22-year-old young man in college in Texas visiting home in Haiti being asked to take responsibility for a child. But he did. So he said, I had a lot of sleepless nights after that question. I tossed and turned, but my mother reminded me things happen for a reason. I've always wanted to be part of something great, and to me, this was my moment. So in 2019, he decides to start the process to formally adopt this child that he has now named Emilio Angel Jeremiah. But he ran into all these obstacles because, as it turns out, to adopt a child in Haiti is around $40,000. So in 2020, So now he's 24. 2020, he takes a break from school, and he decides he is going to work to save up the money. On July 27th of 2022, he set up a GoFundMe campaign with a goal of $60,000, and as of last week, he had raised $79,000. He plans to use the extra money to fund Emilio's education and would like to start a nonprofit to help orphans and needy families in Haiti. He's now 27, determined to finish up Emilio's adoption process, return to school, and finish his degree. And he said he is such a joyful kid. I want him to be happy. I want to teach him how to love. I want him to know that even though he was left alone, he is not alone. Yeah, that broke me up. So, anyway, I think those were both amazing stories. And Kathy Johnson, thank you for getting those ready for us. And with that said, I think we'll get ready for meditation so I can compose myself.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Let's sing it one more time together. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Oh, surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
So I just invite you to take a giant deep breath. And imagine God's presence surrounding us. God's presence within us. The blessings of all the people that have joined us today here in the sanctuary, those who can feel our energy afar. And just take in what is right for you in the words I share. As a spiritual being, I have a divine purpose. Uncovering that purpose requires me to make an investment in developing my spiritual self in all its glory. I live in the awareness of a divine presence where I am free to explore my inner wisdom, the wisdom that guides my thoughts, my words, and my actions. Through this awareness, I am receptive to the gifts of spirit, and I recognize that this may be the best investment I ever make in my lifetime. As the divine spirit within becomes more illuminated, I experience healing in my body and in my relationships. And I see beyond situations that I find troubling, focusing on the truth that I am one with the all-knowing, all-providing presence. I can fulfill my purpose on this earth if I just stay attuned to the divine wisdom that comes to me every day. It is through that inner wisdom that I can navigate every day and trust in knowing that the answers are always revealed. Maybe not on my time, but definitely in divine time. With a commitment and that investment and holding my faith, I'm able to experience my greatest good. And I shine my divine light on the world, one person at a time. Eventually, my commitment and that investment will pay off in allowing me to uncover my highest truth, become my earthly best, and help propel this world forward. Affirming the light within me, I quietly receive the wisdom that awaits me now in the silence. Through faith in who I am and who I am capable of being, I empower my life. The light of God surrounds me, shines brightly within me. And with my heart and mind centered in peace, I come back to this moment in time, trusting that all will be revealed. Thank you, Bobby. Good morning, Logan. So today, our focus is on doing the work necessary to strengthen our spirituality. So if you were here last week or you got to listen, then you know I spoke a little bit about Myrtle Fillmore and about the work she did on herself to heal her life. And she also worked on improving her consciousness. But each of us actually needs to understand the importance of making a spiritual investment in ourselves as an ongoing part of a continuous improvement cycle. It's not something we can do once in a while. It's an ongoing effort to constantly strengthen our spirituality, to strengthen our consciousness, and to maintain that awareness of the connection between our mind and our body. So one of the things I thought might be helpful today is to talk about two of the strongest foundations that Unity was built on. One of them, I think you know, which is first, we can heal ourselves physically, emotionally, and mentally through the belief that we are a divine expression of God, and we cannot inherit sickness. So if we see ourselves as a divine expression of God, then we would know that healing is possible. Unless we give up on that. Unless we decide that is not right for us. And that's okay too. The second thing, though, that Unity was founded on was healthy relationships. Now you may think, that doesn't make sense to me, but it's true. Because in order for us to coexist and to take that divine expression and become a collective unit in this world, we have to be able to heal and work on healthy relationships. That's one of the things we're here to do. Build healthy relationships with everyone, not just with those that are in our inner circle. Myrtle healed her life with both of the concepts in mind. One, the way she believed in her God within her, which helped her get well, and those constant affirmative prayers of hers. And two, by not gossiping, not having and speaking angry words, not having frivolous conversations or petulant, as she described them. But she wanted everyone to discover health and harmony, both of which Unity came out of. Now, she writes about these topics in her book, How to Heal, How to Let God Help You. I get that and healing letters mixed up, so I have to pay attention. But there's a chapter entitled Your Wonderful Body, in which she addresses both things, the health and relationships, which I never caught before. It always seems to be surprising when I find things that I'm looking for, right? But it's not surprising. So in this chapter, she begins with 3 words. Spirit is all. Spirit is all. And she makes some great points that I want to share. First, she explains that each of us must bring the soul and the body into the Christ consciousness, which is the right use of all that God provides. So she says they have to be in harmony. But she points out that we have to understand that God is in everything, which, as you know, is the first principle of unity. That God is omnipotent in all things, all people. So she points out in this chapter, you cannot divide lines between who fits within God's realm, and who isn't. And she said people make those choices all the time. What's in the inner circle of God? Everything. All encompassing. But then she says that God's will is carried out by each of us, and our body temple is used to bring God's kingdom to earth. She says, if we consider ourselves God's temple, then we should see nothing but perfection in ourselves, both in our mind, both in our body. But I love the analogy that she uses when she says that our body is like a child that needs constant prompting, training, discipline, praise, and appreciation. She reminds us that we have everything we need to do what we were put on this earth to do. But it requires us exercising that investment and also common sense. Now, most of us might say that in our lifetime we've heard the whole Buddha thing about, your body is your temple, take care of it, right? We've all heard it somewhere. Someone's told us that. And we all know that. However, she takes this to a whole different place from my perspective. Here it was, the 1800s, when she was writing this stuff. Keep that in mind. And she's talking about the connection between mind and body in the 1800s. But in this same chapter, she explains that many people prior to her time thought of the soul as more important than the body because the body turns to dust. And that was a common theme, right? Biblically, body turns to dust. But she said that was actually the opposite of what Jesus ever spoke about. She said that Jesus tried to teach us to care for the body in order for the soul to be cared for, and because our consciousness had to be renewed. Renew your mind. Remember that? All about renewing your mind. And she says whenever a race-related belief or an error concept has taken hold of us, we are to renew our consciousness and turn to spiritual truth, not our truth. So if we're speaking about anyone in our relationships, in our society, that in a negative way, we are excluding them from that divine circle that everyone is part of. She said, if we're going to experience healing and harmony, we need to give up resentments and we need to work on our relationships. We are not to turn our mind and heart away from people and try to live our lives without free expression of love and interest in others, because this is a part of the unfolding of our spiritual consciousness in bringing our body into perfection. So let me just recap that. She's telling us that to bring our body into perfection, we have to have good relationships with people. And that we have to have that free expression of love. Not just love for those who fit, love for those we like what they're doing, but love for all. So when you meet people who say, you know what, I have a wonderful life, I just don't interact with anyone, and it all works for me. Okay, that's actually only half the equation according to Unity. Because you can't not build healthy relationships. She was an adult who changed her life by investing her time focusing on God, body, mind, heart, vision, relationships, learning to see God in everything, Spirit is all. Now, the concept of making a spiritual investment in ourselves should be more important than our bank accounts or our financial investments. But I don't think that's the case as a whole in our society. So today I want us to think about how much time we're focusing on making a spiritual investment in ourselves. How many of us are checking the balances in our bank accounts or our investment accounts on a weekly basis, some maybe daily? And yet, how many of us are dealing with our spirituality on a daily or weekly basis to actually assess how we're doing? What does that investment look like? Oh, I went for 2 hours on Sunday, and then I ran hard all week. I don't know, that seems a little out of balance. And I get that the reason we do that is we check our financial investments is because we want to make sure that they're working for us, right? But what's the difference? How is your spirituality working for you if you're not invested in it? It can't just be a once-a-week thing. And I know I've said that before, but I want to say it again. We are not going to heal our body, have the strength we need to heal our body, build healthy relationships if we don't invest in them. Now, each of us operates with a value system. And our spiritual investment needs to be at the top of that list because it will provide us all the value we need in everything else we're doing, especially in difficult times. Dr. Jim Langley says that he finds it interesting that the world rejects religion so much because research shows that the biggest psychological protective factor that leads to happiness, peace, and increased mental health is spirituality, which provides a built-in value system that works. Religion and spirituality, because there's a value system, something we can work with, some sort of confine. Now, most of us ended up in unity because we didn't like the value system of the religions we belonged to at some point. That may have been the case. But what I want you to see is that all religion or spirituality actually provides value because there is a system that supports that thinking and our growth and development. Jim Langley says, we are not looking for happiness. We are all looking for fulfillment. Fulfillment. Our relationship with family and friends is meaningful, but our relationship with God is most important, which is what Jesus tried to tell us in Matthew 6 when he said, store up and invest in heavenly and spiritual things. In Lessons in Truth, Emily Cady tells the story of how Simon once attempted to purchase the power that spiritual understanding provides from someone he thought was demonstrating it better than he was. She explains that such understanding doesn't come from intellect. It can't be developed just by reading or studying the stars. Everything that Jesus ever taught was for the purpose of leading people into the consciousness of knowing that God rests within each of us. This is not the person outside of us. It's the person we were born to be. Jesus often talked about the comforter within each of us and how this comforter existed within our hearts and could provide the power we needed. But he was referring to the kingdom of heaven on earth. We came into this world to express the kingdom of heaven on earth because earth is where school is. And there is no heaven. This is it. This is where we all belong. This is part of our journey. Our journey is to develop our best selves, to bring it to the world and express and remember we're part of this universal consciousness that everyone is empowered by. There's nobody left out of the electrical circuit. And while each of us must achieve this spiritual understanding in our own way, nothing is going to happen unless we invest our time. So let's take a look at where we begin. I've put some steps together for us, and Duncan's going to share these as we go along. So the first one is to do an assessment. How would you describe your physical well-being? What would you like to improve? What does your mental well-being look like? What relationships do you need to invest more time in? What adjustments are you willing to make? I want you to think about that this week. Where do you fit in all of these questions? When I was working on this talk yesterday, I thought about how for centuries, doctors never asked a patient about their mental health. And therapists never asked patients about their physical health. It's only been a matter of decades that that's happened, that we recognize that doctors now say, how are you? How much rest are you getting? What are you doing for exercise? And therapists ask, tell me what you're doing to take care of yourself. Everybody wants to know how we're managing our life now. Because the understanding is that mind and body go together. So doctors ask about emotional needs and therapists ask about physical needs. Step 2, develop a spiritual action plan. So once you know what you want for yourself, you can begin outlining the steps you're willing to take. I recently created a spiritual action plan for myself about 3 weeks ago. And I put it into a spreadsheet that I could, tape up on my office wall. And I'm following it to like 75%. I'd like to get to 100, but I'm at about 75. And the reason I put it there is because I feel like if we don't have a plan, there's nothing to follow. So is that meditating? Is it walking? How many steps? For me, it was about how many steps I get in every day. And so there's all these things that I feel create gaps and space in my life for me to think and reflect and be just something other than doing, because I'm a doer. And between my corporate life and here and raising Melody, it's a lot to think about all the time. The brain never shuts. Step 3 is make a commitment. So a commitment to yourself and the universe to ensure that your plan actually becomes a reality. People always make commitments to exercise plans. Why don't they make commitments to spiritual plans? Same thing, just as important. And number 4 is monitoring outcomes. What are you observing? What are you experiencing? How is the effort manifesting in your life? There's a great story that reminds us to become aware of how we spend our time each day. Perhaps you've all heard this. Imagine having $86,400 deposited into your account every single day. Someone steals $100 from you every day. Are you going to spend the rest of your time and the rest of your money chasing the spending your $86,390 to get that 100 back? Or would you move on and invest your time differently? Because you see, every day we have 86,400 seconds in our life. And we get to decide how we're using that time. If our health isn't what we want, then we need to invest some of those seconds in our health. If our relationships aren't what we want, we need to invest some time in those relationships. Whether they are unhealthy or we're overinvesting. Let's not forget that. Some of us have overinvested in relationships. And we don't need to try so hard. It'll all work itself out if we don't. Living a healthy life and spending our time in healthy relationships is what will bring our best to this lifetime. So let's take a look at today's lessons in a recap. Number 1, seek ye first the kingdom of God within yourself and in everything. Number 2, express that godliness within. Let God work through you. Number 3, avoid self-sabotage. Stop expecting so much from yourself. And number 4, eliminate sources of stress. Take time to eat, meditate, breathe, and create that spiritual action plan. Our affirmation today is, I am making a spiritual investment in me. Let's say that together. I am making a spiritual investment in me. And our quote from today is from Yehuda Berg. The more we invest in our spirituality, the more consistently we can elevate our consciousness and connect to the spiritual source of everything good. Let's take that in. So we pause now to affirm that Spirit is all. 3 simple words. Spirit is all. And we are representatives of that Spirit. And the healthier we are, mentally and physically, the more we express that divine light in this universe and bring our good to others. Amen.
Amen.
So Sheila goes home today, prayers answered, that's great, right? And we have these awesome chaplains who make things happen, Linda Reed being one of them. Thank you, Linda Reed, for getting to hospitals, helping us out. She's just a wonderful asset to us, as are all of our chaplains. If you have a prayer need, can you fill out a card, put it in the back of the room on the left, on the way out the door. On the left is a box. And also, you can also, if you're online, you can call the prayer line and leave it there as well. So our giving affirmation, we're doing well, we're blessed, we have everything to be grateful for, and I want us to affirm that. So let's say our giving affirmation together. We have faith in God as our instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. We have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. We have faith in God to guide us in all our ways, and our health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good now flowing forth to meet my every need. Bobby, it's incredible how well you do. I'm proud of you. Yeah, I'm going to change that up there and not tell you. All right. I'm going to sit down so I don't get in trouble.
All right, we got a nice upbeat tune to end the service with, guys. Can you dig it? I felt like this was a good song for talking about some spiritual investments that we're going to make this week. So, and I'm going to ask you guys to help us out, of course. It goes like this. I know that this or something better is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free. I'm gonna let go of control. I'm gonna get out of my way. I know the universe conspires to bring me heaven today. I know that this or something better is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free. I'm tired of playing it small, of doing what I think I should. The universe stands up to me. I claim my highest form of good. I know that this or something better is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free. Yeah, I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. Keep singing that. This or something better now is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free. I'm gonna say yes to my dreams. Let my imagination soar. I know that I have gifts I must use. That was what I was put here for. And I know that this or something better is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free. Alright, so that part from before. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. Can you sing that? Know it, I claim it, like you mean it. I'm talking Unity of Tampa, I'm talking singing it like we mean it. Claim it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. This, keep it going, something better is waiting for me, yeah. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free, yeah. I know that this or something better, there we go, is waiting for me. I know that this something better is the key that will set my heart free. Nice. Hey, thank you. Thank you for participating in that one with us. I love it. Some wonderful energy. We got you. Yeah, that one we sang a lot in the past couple years. It's a classic. And I was just talking to Susan last week too about some Karen Drucker songs. So it's nice to do that. All right, we're gonna sing the peace song now that we got you guys standing. On earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally.
And now let's join together and sing the prayer of protection just the way it was meant to be said. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. Have a wonderful week. And thank you for being here today.